welcome to the Yoga Mother. We're still in isolation, so here is another routine for you to do in the morning or whenever you get time during your busy day. So let's start with our head bowed, hands resting on our knees, either hands facing down or opening them up, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And begin to take deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale for 4 and exhale 6 or 8. Once more, inhale and exhale. Let's bring our hands to heart, pushing our hands against one another. Shoulder blades go down and back. Bow your head once more. Let's lift through our torso, nice, tall, top of our body, feeling space between each of our ribs. Take 3 deep breaths. Then take one hand behind you, other hand to opposite knee. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist to the side. Take 3 deep breaths. And inhale back to center, switching sides. On your inhale, lift, and exhale to twist. Coming back to center. Now let's bring the soles of our feet together. You can have them far away from your body in a kind of diamond shape, or you can bring your heels in closer to your groin, whatever's comfortable for you. Try and lift the flesh off of your bum or your thighs, and you could even sit on a blanket or on a pillow here to sit a little bit taller. And now take your hands to your feet, open your feet up like a book. Once again, we're taking our shoulders down and back. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, begin to hinge forward. Keeping our shoulders back, so avoid that rounding down towards our feet. Keep our shoulders back, back is straight, and take your hands right in front of your body. And begin to pull yourself down. See wherever feels good for you to stop, so it might be only a little way down, and that's fine. You're still getting that lovely opening in your hips, or you might find that you're able to lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Wherever you are, take 5 deep breaths. And we're really breathing into our hips, opening up our hips there. And when you've taken 5 breaths, begin to slowly inch yourself back towards your feet with your hands and bring yourself back up to seated. Let's draw our knees together and hug our knees to our body, remembering that if you've got your baby bump, you want a wider stance, always make space for your bump. Alrighty, coming back again to cross legs, sitting nice and tall, moving the flesh off of our bum and our thighs. Let's take both arms out to the side. Take one arm up towards the sky and the other hand reach behind you, and then drop your top hand. See if you can touch your fingers together behind your back. If you can, hold on to your fingers. If not, just hold on to your shirt. And let's get that top elbow really going up high towards the sky. Bowing your head, taking 3 deep breaths here. And if you want to intensify the stretch, you can take a deep inhale and exhale, fold over towards the ground. Inhale, coming back up, and gently release your hands, taking them parallel to the ground again. Opposite arm goes up towards the sky, the other hand goes up behind your back. Drop your top hand, see if your fingers will meet. And often you can feel quite a big difference between each side of your body when you do this pose. And that could be from holding bags or holding a baby on one side of your body that makes that shoulder tighter. Taking our 3 breaths here. Nice and long, inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 6 or 8. Remembering that if we want to intensify this stretch, you can take an inhale and then exhale to fold over. And then inhaling back to center. Release your hands and let's just roll our shoulders backwards and then forwards. And then roll onto all fours. Taking our hands below our shoulders, knees below our hips. Just sort my pants out. Let's inhale, dropping our belly, raising our head. Exhale, draw your belly in, push away from the mat with your hands, bow your head. Inhale, belly drops, head rises. And exhale, drawing in. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Returning to a neutral tabletop. Tap your toes and push yourself into a downward facing dog. Notice how my knees are quite bent at first. I'm really working on sending my hips up towards the sky. And then I might begin to straighten my legs. Let me loosen my hamstrings. It's quite early in the morning here, so my hamstrings are still quite tight. So I want to inhale, bringing my knees to hover just above the ground, and then exhale, begin to straighten my legs, taking my heels down. Inhale, bring your knees to hover, and exhale, straighten. Last time, inhale, and exhale. Holding for 3 breaths. If you're finding this is too tough on your wrists, you can come onto your fists, or you could even come down onto your forearms. So there's a few options if you're finding that being on your wrists is a bit too much for you. Let's inhale over to high plank, shoulders over your wrists, and feel free to take your knees down whenever you're in this position, or you can have your legs up. If you're pregnant, have a look down at your bump and check that you can't see any doming, so you should have a nice strong abs. If you notice doming with your bump, then it's time to start taking your knees down as you move through your pregnancy. Now let's take our right leg off the ground. Take a deep inhale and exhale your knee to your elbow. Inhale back, exhale knee to nose. Inhale back and knee to opposite elbow. Inhale back and drop your foot, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Feel free to drop to your knees if you need to. Inhale over to high plank, shoulders over wrists. Lift your back leg, left foot. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale back, knee to nose. Inhale back, and knee to opposite elbow. Inhale back, drop your foot, downward facing dog. Then inhale over to high plank. Lower down just a little bit, just so you've got a bend to your elbows, and then bring your chest forward, drop your shoulders back, upward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, and downward facing dog. Then let's drop to our knees and come to child's pose. So take your knees as wide as the mat, touch your toes together, and sink back down towards your heels, reaching your arms forward and lower your head to the mat. Take 5 deep breaths here, breathing into this back space in our ribs, really creating space in our back. Then let's let's inhale, coming up onto all fours. Tuck your toes, push yourself into downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths. Then look forward and step forward with your right foot between your hands. Lift your hands up, coming to a high lunge. So we've got our knee over our ankle here, and our back leg is raised. If you feel that your arms don't feel nice above your head, feel free to take hands to heart. Let's hold here for 3 breaths. Then take your hands down and push yourself into downward facing dog. Inhale, come over to plank, step forward with your left foot. Raise your arms up, high lunge on the other side. Once again, feel free to take that variation where you're holding your hands to heart. Don't let yourself feel dizzy or lightheaded. Then take hands down either side of your foot, push into downward facing dog. And begin to work your hands back towards your feet. Keep your knees nice and bent. Feet have a wide stance if you're pregnant, and then allowing yourself to hang. Soft knees protecting our lower back. Let your knuckles graze on the ground. Let the weight of your head and shoulders draw you down into this forward fold. You've got a nice wide stance if you've got your bumps. There's plenty of space for your baby. If you're not pregnant, you can still have a wide stance, or you could choose to have your toes together, heels apart. Whatever's comfortable for you. 2 more breaths. Then let's take our hands to heart and really slowly bring yourself up. If you're holding your belly, make sure that you're really drawing those muscles in so that your belly's not hanging, pulling on your back. Take a moment when you come up to standing, just check that you're not feeling dizzy. Alright. And then let's place our left foot so that it's in line with the short edge of your mat, and then turn it in a little bit so it's a bit less than 90 degrees. And then take a couple of big steps forward with your right foot, your front foot, toes facing the top of your mat. Let's turn our hips towards the front of the mat. Take your right hand and lower your right hand down your front leg, holding onto your shin or onto your ankle, and then open your left arm out to the side. We come to our triangle pose. So feel your left hip drawing up towards the sky, pointing directly at the sky. Feel your left shoulder drawing back, creating space for your ribs, and arm goes up. You can keep your hand holding onto your foot, or you can reach and just touch your fingertips to the ground. Holding here for 3 breaths. Then take your top arm, your left hand, take it down to your hip. Bend your front leg, push yourself back up to standing. And now let's turn both toes in so that we're pigeon-toed, our toes facing slightly in. Take a deep inhale, and exhale, hinge from the hips. When you see the ground coming towards you, reach for the ground with your hands and then fold your head in, reaching for either side of your toes, bending your elbows, bringing yourself in. Once again, taking our hands to our hips, contracting our core muscles, so really holding our belly with those strong, deep abdominal muscles, pushing through our feet, gently bringing ourselves up to standing. And then keeping our right leg where it is and turning our left foot, so now our left toes are pointing towards the front of the mat. Let's get a nice wide stance again. turn your hips towards the new front of your mat and then bend over, taking your left hand down to your ankle and right arm goes out to the side. So we're coming to triangle on the other side. Once again, take that hip, send it back, your top shoulders send it back. We can gaze up at our fingers, we can look straight ahead or we can look down, whatever's more comfortable for your neck. Holding for 3 breaths. And then taking our top hand down to our hip, bending into your front knee and bringing yourself up to standing. Let's toe heel our feet together, so we're just widening hip distance and our toes pointing out now like a duck. Hands go to heart and let's slowly lower ourselves down into a squat. Taking our elbows to the inside of our legs, bowing our head, taking 5 breaths here. You may find that your heels are off the ground, that's fine. Or you may find that you want to step against a wall to do this so that you've got your back balanced against the wall. That's fine as well. 3 more breaths wherever you are. All right, and then coming out, gently bringing ourselves up to standing again. Now, I'd like you to grab a pillow and take your mat over to the wall. Okay, so you see I've got my wall behind me. Bring your mat over so that you've got your mat right up against the wall and your pillow behind you. So, we're going to take our hip right up against the wall and then spin ourselves so our legs are against the wall and draw our pillow in for our head. Do a little bit of a shimmy, get your bum as close to the wall as you can. And the reason that we've got this pillow is so that your heart can stay high and you don't feel sick if you're pregnant and holding a big bump. Let's take our arms as cactus arms out beside us or hold on to either elbow above your head. And take 5 deep breaths. Then let's cross our right ankle over our left. Open up our right knee towards the wall, so we've got a figure 4 shape. Take your hands down to your side for balance, and then place your left foot on the wall. Slide that left heel down the wall as far as is comfortable for you. Keep this right foot flexed, and keep your tailbone pushing down onto the ground. And you should really feel a nice opening in that right hip. You could take your hands to your ankle and your knee just to offer a little bit of resistance. We're not forcing that leg, that hip open, but just a little bit of resistance here. Let's take 5 breaths. Then begin to slide your left foot up the wall, release your right, send your right to meet your left. You should feel like this right leg's a little bit longer now that we've taken the time to open that hip. And now let's switch sides, cross left ankle over right, open your left knee towards the wall. Place your right foot on the wall and slide that heel down. See how far it can go. It might go further than the other leg, or it might be that it stays higher up. Let your breath guide you. You still want to be able to breathe normally. So if you feel that you're catching your breath or holding your breath, then it's time to just release that foot a little bit. Once again, let's place our hands on our knee and on our ankle, pushing our tailbone down towards the mat, taking 5 breaths. And then beginning to take that right leg back up the wall, send your left foot to meet your right. Take a breath here. And now we'll come to our final Shavasana, but we'll do it up against the wall now. It's really nice to have this chance to have our feet above our head. Really allowing any swelling in our ankles to go down. So you can either keep your legs long like this, or you can turn the soles of your feet together and allow both of your heels to slide down the wall. So you're in Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose against the wall. So see what feels comfortable for you, either keeping your legs long or taking them down against the wall, hands going to your thighs to open your knees up towards the wall. And then stay here with your breath, breathing in for 4, feeling your belly expand with each breath, and breathing out for 6 or 8, your belly dropping towards the mat. Enjoy this pose for as long as it's comfortable for you. And enjoy this peaceful time during isolation. When you want to come out of the pose, bring your knees together, roll to one side, and gently push yourself up. Moving your pillow aside, crossing your legs, and bowing your head with your hands to your heart, just taking a moment to find peace and take that peace into the rest of your day. Namaste.